can't ever get a break. I must be dreaming.
Hey Eric. What are you doing all dressed up?
Another interview cut short.
What do you mean cut short?
I left the address blank on the application, and when the employer asked why, well damn it. How do you explain this as an address?
The village of obsolescence.
You're right, Steve. What are these cameras doing here?
They are here for us, you idiot. Remember our promo shoot for the obsoletes?
Oh yeah, I guess I got caught up in my feelings.
Stay here. Get comfortable and follow my lead. Hello Kickstarter world, I'm formerly homeless and known in the homeless community as Better Believe Steve, and with me is Eric Sheptalk.
Best known as the homeless advocate.
You've come to this Kickstarter campaign because you want to help the homeless community. Look at this woman behind me. You've forgotten her. The homeless are obsolete.
Steve, illustrate what society does for women deemed obsolete in our nation's capital.
This is a low-barrier 12-hour shelter, which means that the ladies are only allowed in here at 7 o'clock in the evening, and they must be gone by 7 o'clock the next morning. They line up at 7 o'clock, they come in, they're offered a meal, okay, and then they eat. Well, where do they eat, you ask? They eat right here. Imagine your grandmother, 55, 60 years old, having to live down here and having to climb up in this bunk. Just think about that for a minute, having to climb up in this bunk. There's not a ladder around anywhere.
Great beds and covers. Compared to where I live. That is Trump Plaza. I live here in CCNV shelter with over 1,000 people.
I was formerly homeless and now I have a degenerative disc and can't work. My recent appeal for disability was denied. Soon I'll end up in CCNV with you, Eric. Hotel obsolescence.
Well, right here right now I am going to embrace my obsolescence. We are the obsoletes.
I'm with you, Eric. We are the obsoletes.
And we have the power to turn this scene behind me around. With your help right here right now on Kickstarter, you can help.
Now we're not talking about feeding or clothing the homeless that so many of you do. Thank you. Man. I wish they would come to Franklin Park at 13th and K Street Northwest in D.C.
Hey Steve. Remember the Dome Home Solution Centers for the homeless. We need to keep thinking out of the box and moving folks from obsolescence.
We are in a
quagmire. Not the soft or flabby definition, like you obese. But dilemma, predicament, like when you called me over here. I just left the job interview all dressed up and speaking well as I always do. Yet because I have no address, the employer stops the hiring process in their mind.
I get it, Eric. You can walk the walk and talk the talk, and still the employer decides to balk the balk on hiring you because you live in the land of obsolescence.
That is right. Now let's take a look at me on Big News TV.
Talk about this, I mean, going to an interview. Why is that tough? Because you've got to bring all your stuff with you and people stereotype you. Talk about some of the other challenges as you guys do try to find work, how tough it is.
Well, there's a lot of different challenges. For one thing, many of the feeding programs feed during the hours that most folk would be at work. Like where I eat breakfast, they feed at 9:30 a.m. Most folk would be at work at that time. And then oftentimes you get dinner about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Most folk wouldn't even be home from work at that time. And so you have to choose between working and eating in many cases. And then the check-in at the shelters oftentimes is 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And so by the time you get off work, you got nowhere to sleep. So if you work, you have to sleep outside. And then you don't have money to ride the bus to work for the first couple of weeks. You don't have money for lunch. When I began my new part-time job, I actually went to work hungry a few days because I didn't have any money to buy food.
Wow.
You have said that you would not want to leave the D.C. shelter where you've been for the last few years, and that you might not even be willing to take a full-time job somewhere because it would infringe on your ability to work on these issues. But do you want to be homeless?
No, actually, I don't want to be homeless, and that actually is a misquote. I mean, what I said was that I would not take a 9-to-5 that would compromise my ability to advocate for the homeless. I would actually work on a job where I am advocating for the homeless. I am willing to work, and I am definitely anxious to get out of homelessness.
So with this fundraising campaign, we, the Obsoletes, are actors and entrepreneurs seeking to educate you on homelessness, and together creating innovative solutions.
What is edutain?
Educating and entertaining.
That's the perfect word, and that's what the Obsoletes is going to be, a series of plays featuring Eric and myself that will not only educate and entertain but also enlighten and empower you to work with the obsoletes warehoused in your shelters and move them back into society as productive citizens.
We'll also have an interactive website that will include solution-driven dialogue from viewers of our play, as well video conferences for all to participate, throughout the world. We could even show the video.
Wait, we have a spin on that. One of the gifts at the platinum giving level will be a copy of the DVD of our first performance.
Let me tell you all this, your investment in the Obsoletes is an investment in me as I am homeless, and this is an exit strategy. But my purpose for doing this is to help as many of my brothers and sisters of the streets out of this ugly plight called homelessness.
Well said, Eric, and our dear mayor of DC Vincent Gray heard you. You better believe Steve when I tell you the Obsoletes is serious yet silly, challenging yet comical, and filled with fun that will make you furious at the same time. It is a solution-driven satire.
Please invest in the Obsolete solution-driven edutainment that'll move people from streets and shelters to self-sufficiency. Homelessness isn't going anywhere without your help.
Thank you for your time and support us by clicking back this project.